The case before us is a strange and unprecedented one indeed.
Всем привет! Приветики! Что-то у меня с голосом снова сегодня не то. Немножечко он будто бы подсел к вечеру. Иногда такое бывает.
Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right.
Это хорошо, что слышно. Я, перед стримом проверила настройки ОБС. У меня они опять слетели. Хорошо, хорошо. Сегодня по плану у меня сделать, как обычно, дейлики. Потом вчера я после стрима немножечко сама поиграла, но там буквально не было ничего интересного, поэтому не стала делать это во время стрима. И у меня, собственно, началась сюжетка с Ахарозой. Неожиданно так. Я подошла к алхимику, и меня там ждал небольшой сюрпризик. Поэтому вот эту сюжеточку надо будет тоже пройти. И, наверное, еще основное.
Motion to compel. Incinerate.
Вот смотрите, одна мелочь. Нет, это не одна мелочь. Они все-таки пришли, спрятались. И даже немножечко попали в меня. Ну вот как они в меня попадают? Зачем вы в меня попадаете? Я вчера еще это заметила, но сегодня как-то стало... Прям убедилась в этом, так скажем. Они давно так стали в воду прыгать? Этого же ведь вроде не было, по крайней мере, я не замечала.
What's the hurry?
все-таки есть у нас в драконьем хребте. Или на драконьем хребте, как правильно. Я вообще не замечала того, как они прыгали в воду. Ну блин, они меня уже заметили.
Motion to compel.
А как-то они немножечко послабже стали. Уровень у них небольшой почему-то. Да блин, как меня задевают-то они?
Incinerate.
What's the hurry? What's the hurry?
Так, а что у меня там? Скорее всего, с экспедициями связано.
Ad Astra Abyss.
Ну да, как я и предполагала. Можно на редисочку отправить. Так, в этот раз я побольше отправлю на Мору, именно потому что как-то ее немножечко стало маловато у меня. И ощущения не из приятных, если честно. А я же вообще пришла из-за Дейлика. Что-то мне прям вылетело из головы сразу. И эти голубцы тоже хорошие. Нужно будет собрать эти грибочки. и картошечку потом купить, но не сейчас. Но однажды для интереса я все-таки отвечу именно по типу «делай сам». У меня нет времени. Мне просто интересна реакция людей будет на это. Нет, я не хотела пока вот так. Привет. Всем привет, кто подключается. Так, нужно немножечко погромче говорить.
Motion to compel. Yeah.
Я не грустная, я не грустная. Привет. Мне кажется, я наоборот какая-то сегодня умиротворенная, и, наверное, из-за этого кажется, что я грустная. Но нет, все в порядке. У меня 44-й ранг. Так, я забываю.
Motion to compel.
Да, он провалился. Ну нет! Какой ужас. А можно? Можно? Нет, 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 нет. Не падать, не падать. Да, сейчас буквально я с этим разберусь. Можешь заходить. Сейчас мне нужно будет поменять на Лизу. Моя главная двойка, Инфа и Лиза. А сейчас меня лучше слышно? Вроде должно быть все хорошо. Так, сейчас еще микрофон прибавлю. На всякий случай. Сейчас получше? Все, отлично тогда. Вообще я хотела бы немножечко поиграть в другую игру. Не сказать, что я прям устала от Genshin, но... Ну вот почему именно вот сейчас? Вы что, не могли подождать немножечко? Зачем нападать? Я как раз хотела поменять на Лизу, и вот такая тут подстава. Ну что, еще не все, что ли? Наконец-то. Ну, в общем, я хочу немножечко поиграть в другую игру, но я не знаю в какую. Чтобы я могла играть одна. А это какие игры? Я вообще без понятия. Я думала, можно было что-нибудь прикольное на прохождение, но не похоже на Резидента. Было бы прикольно что-нибудь на Фасму похожее, но... Вот Фасму, например, нужно вдвоем как минимум играть. Желательно вообще втроем.
Vision hunt decree. Did something bad happen again?
По поводу Ведьмака я не знаю. Я думала об этом тоже, но под сомнением. Ух ты, еще и достижение. Отлично. Сколько там до истечения осталось? 12, ну 13 дней, хорошо, 13 дней. Ну, метро это же тоже по типу Резидента. Там, конечно, не на зомбаке, но я видела метро игру. Это все из одного теста, так скажем. А вот какие-нибудь такие простенькие игры, чтобы немножечко было страшно, что-нибудь поискать, мне кажется, было бы весело. Я бы потом и после работы его могла бы запустить перед выходным непосредственно, когда вернусь часов в 9 и в 10 стрим. Было бы, думаю, интересно. Так, ну я посмотрю на Дрю, я не слышала об этой игре. В общем, я посмотрю эти игры, что они из себя представляют. На
The
Дрю,
law can be both
Outlast.
a help and a hindrance.
Угу, тут фатую, ладно. Тут я должна не одна делать, попозже сделаю. Просто в детстве я играла в Warcraft, поэтому... Поэтому я не знаю такие игры. Я помню из детства игру, по-моему, она называется Rockью или типа того. У меня еще тогда не было интернета. И я играла с соседкой по сети через провода, мы там подключали. Было весело. Но сейчас, наверное, эта графика покажется какой-то отвратительной. Единственное, что я помню из этой игры, что там были какие-то чудовища непонятные, что-то связано с мифологией. Я помню, в конце был босс главный, Зевс, и вот там мы с ним мучились. Так неужели никого не задело? Ну, я, в общем, посмотрю, что из себя представляют эти игры, и, возможно, проведу стрим вот в следующий раз. Если это будет какая-то как раз такая прикольная игра, где не нужно слишком мысленно напрягаться, то, возможно, в пятницу вечером, ну, на крайняк в субботу. Ой, нет, пока мне не надо помогать. Я собираюсь завершить один дейлик и пойти по сюжетке. Кстати говоря, я вчера все-таки досмотрела игру в кальмара. И такой конец был достаточно, с одной стороны, ожидаемый, но если брать последнюю серию, то наоборот неожидаемо. Я думаю, там уже была отсылка на второй сезон, но если честно, я бы не хотела второго сезона как раз. Мне кажется, он может растерять во втором сезоне свой интерес как сериала. Вау, сколько тут всего. Кстати, у меня есть такой вопросик один. Что значит опыт персонажа? Это же не относится к опыту ранга приключений, но при этом и персонажи не прокачиваются именно, ну, сами по себе. Вот, например, они же тут сами не прокачиваются или прокачиваются, когда уже возвышен персонаж и не достиг максимума.
Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict.
Вот у меня
Balancing the two is
столько
a
вопросов
discipline in
иногда в
its own
голове
right.
возникает. Что это вообще значит? Прокачивается? А, ну тогда я просто не замечала. Так. Где тут спрятался Анемакул? А, вот он. Ну, там же буквально совсем немного опыта дают. Но в любом случае небольшой плюсик. Хорошо, хорошо, и все, не бью. Вау. Я пока не буду принимать команду, так скажем. Такие хорошенькие цифры. Еще раз? Мне как раз малу надо просто потратить. Можно еще раз попробовать. Не за что, не за что. Ладно, ничего страшного. Ну, если тебе понадобится, то можешь подключиться. Только после сюжетки.
What the? What kind of injurious weather is this? It's cold. Achoo!
Так, опять с этими драться. Уф, как я их не люблю.
Motion to compel.
Ну вот как ты меня задела?
Oh, so sorry.
Motion to compel.
Ну ведь задел все-таки. Ну это опять ледяной. Я вот самый бесячий, вот он ледяной.
Incinerate.
А зачем ты тогда ее качал, если играть не будешь? Или ты изначально планировал, но потом что-то пошло не так? Так, ну все, здорово.
Ad Astra Abyssal.
Ну, это знаешь, из разряда получил жизненный опыт, необходимо немножечко подождать и только потом уже делать. целых 10 примагемов. Это вообще отлично. Просто замечательно.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
Ну, крутки это дело такое. У некоторых, ну, кто крутит по 10 круток сразу, выпадают по несколько легендарок, по 2, иногда даже по 3. Случаи редкие, конечно, но тоже бывает.
Catch the wind.
Sister Rosaria! So here you are! Choir practice is about to...
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit
Ой, она
odd?
жесткая, мне даже страшно
What do you
немножечко.
mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour?
Нет, это...
Even if you set out right now, I'll wager
так.
you'd still
Я
miss
же
the opening
хотела не это
ceremony.
сделать.
Who knows?
Ладно, да, это, наверное,
Maybe this is
обеда.
someone's grand
Вчера я
plan to
потому
make a fool out
что
of you.
открыла. Я хотела сюжетку Сахарозы пройти.
People aren't
Вчера
like
она
that.
мне случайно выпала, когда я подошла к
Evidence decides what
алхимику,
people are like, not your
чтобы
feelings.
сделать всякие вещества.
Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people.
Но так как я
Don't
открыла
fret,
все и
nobody's gonna
обеда,
blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was
я не
delusional enough to think
планировала
I was
этого
gonna show
делать.
up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've got to get going.
Seems like that sister's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
Да она
I
жесткая.
thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain. Or a trickster at
Ну вот,
best.
я планировала
Oh,
как
really?
раз...
I'm a
Я даже
member
не
of the
уверена, что это
long-standing
сюжетка
Favonius
Сахарозы,
Church.
а просто
You're
она
an
случайная
eavesdropping pixie
какая-то
from who
сюжетка
knows
с
where.
алхимиком.
You think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... Huh. So it's you. The
Так мы с
honorary
тобой уже
knight that saved
виделись.
us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping.
Неужели она нас забыла?
Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So,
Это еще и в
are you
драконьем
also
хребте,
looking
да?
for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then.
Она
I'd
вообще
like to see what
какая-то
he's up to anyway.
жесткая.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
How about a ghost story to go with the snow?
Incinerate! Yeah.
He
Should replace my hammer.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a
Блин, ну
trace.
почему?
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Dodge this! I slipped up.
Motion to compel.
Let's end this quickly.
Да как же ты меня задел-то?
This isn't good.
О, у нее жесткая история. Тогда понятно почему. Если кто-то подключается, то я пока не буду принимать, потому что я прохожу сюжетку. Поэтому не обижайтесь.
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
Да почему вы такие жесткие-то?
Motion to compel.
Ну, наконец-то. У него слишком быстро восстанавливается щит. Наверное, в эту сторону куда-то. Так, это что был за крик? А тут нигде нет места погреться. Да, есть такой цвет кожи.
Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilichurls? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Так, я вообще-то хотела включить. Да что это? А можно, да, нормально двигаться, пожалуйста?
Motion to compel.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilichurls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilichurls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting,
Ну,
I
он,
may
кстати,
give you a clue.
красивенький.
Wow. Look at the detail. But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
Разве? Мне кажется, он
You can find these
отлично
hilichurls
нарисовал.
anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
Будем терпеть
So
вместе.
Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking.
Подожди-ка.
I've heard a bit of everything.
А я думала, это
Your
отдельная
actions during
сюжетка
Storm
была
Terror's
с
attack.
Сухорозой.
Your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the
Походу, из-за того,
conclusion.
что я открыла
There's only
вчера
one
эту
possibility after
сюжетку,
all.
сразу две подряд,
You came from afar.
когда я подошла к алхимику,
another world,
вот такая ситуация
correct?
произошла.
Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa, whoa. you want to start with that?
Да-да. Я
You're
думала,
right.
что это какая-то
Giving a
случайная
demonstration
сюжетка,
would be better
оказывается
than
нет.
trying to explain.
И я немножечко
For
вчера
example,
ее начала.
Awakening life.
Значит,
Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world, helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
а эта
Well, if
сюжетка
you're
долгая?
struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
Что?
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure your safety. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Ну, то, что за него не дают поиграть, это ладно. Я могу это пережить. Но то, что идет 1,5 часа, да еще и в основном текст. Нет, ладно, по времени нет проблем, но то, что в основном текст, вот это уже...
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy
Я
explanation,
даже
I'm
не
afraid.
знаю, это комплимент
I
или нет для
suppose it's
Паймон,
one
то,
of the
что
few
ее сравнили с
non-alchemy-related
ребеночком.
disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things
Нет,
are
такого
fascinating.
ничего нет.
And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question. Can't you see the
Я
gap
не
between
могу.
us?
Летающее дитя.
It's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you.
Давайте немножечко пошутим.
Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did
Неужели
Paimon
он
guide the elemental
поверил?
power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in her research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method
Хорошо.
comes most naturally to you.
Сейчас мы побьем этих слаймов.
Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Нет, нет, нет.
Slimes are fine.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
6 океанитов это как-то очень много.
Incinerate! Chia! 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 He! Boom boom! Chia!
Лучше было бы, конечно, если бы они стояли рядом.
Incinerate!
Вот прям вовремя поднялся, конечно.
Motion to compel.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry.
Ну, не очень
In the
приятно,
normal course
да.
of events, you'd feel some temporary
При нормальном
queasiness.
ходе опыта.
No
А если
bodily
что-то
injury.
пойдет не так?
And in the abnormal
Мы
course
прям
of
с
events?
Паймон мыслим одинаково.
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved, but if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Вот как так?
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
собрали разные плюшки.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Ну, хорошо, хоть не будем просто стоять на месте и болтать.
This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Конечно, мы виделись
Hello.
очень
I've just
часто.
gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes.
Со слаймами? Что?
Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate
И?
elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions
Я
either,
прям очень
yet
похожа на
they
слайма.
too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregisvine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Никогда бы не
yes,
подумала,
sir.
что меня
That
будут
sounds
сравнивать со
correct.
слаймом.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world. Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep... I've just tried some. It's in line with my expectations. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell. I'll be noting down all observable results and data points.
Так, ладно, как его выпить? Блин, как выпить это зелье? Где оно находится? Вот оно. Все хорошо. Просто не там искала.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What's happened to her?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you.
Как он любит все усложнять.
People are the
Ну,
same.
это
They can
черта
understand,
ученых.
empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people, but a peculiar person. They don't have much recourse for the things we for example. A human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine, or an eye of the... To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Но я даже что-то ему даже не доверяю, потому что он меня сравнил со слаймами.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it.
Немножечко
You gave me a
сомнений
lot to
возникает.
consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me. But starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit. Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to prepare something.
Хорошо,
Wait
только
one
давай
moment.
немножечко побыстрее.
If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the...
Просто потрясающее задание. Ладно, я не это хотела сделать.
Here comes Albedo. Let's go see him.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Agreed. I'd love to find a moment to put them all in order. Still, experiments come first. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world?
Я
I
бы не
think answering this question
сказала.
calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No, You shan't be required to now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
Чего?
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I
Ладно, он
suppose.
супер странный. Я, конечно,
Have you
понимаю,
tried using
что
your
я
elemental power with
необычна
food?
для них,
I don't mean for
но
cooking as such. Rather,
сама
channeling your power into
статую
the
силы
ingredients
мысли.
themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry. It does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna
Обожаю
channel
Паймон и
elemental
ее
power
любовь к
into
еде.
food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old-fashioned.
Нужно сливочное масло.
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You
Я
seem well
знаю,
versed in the
мне бы
science
только
of
поваром
gastronomy.
работать.
As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends.
Мне даже
You
как-то
have
стало
good friends
обидно
too,
со
right?
слов Паймон.
Students?
Она за еду и меня продаст.
Yes, I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. If you had, say, superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing,
Ну, у меня,
Lost
да,
property
есть
would be a thing of
что-то
the past.
подобное.
I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
Что это?
This must be electrohypostasis powder.
Как-то мне чувство стихии не очень помогает. Я ничего не вижу. А вот, всё
Extract of an
хорошо.
animal crystal fly can only be animal elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it. Still,
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff,
Нет,
the one over
конечно.
there.
Ты
So
что?
what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into a million fragments? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
Remarkable condition.
Это я что, сундук случайно открыла? Так, а драться мне с ним или не драться?
Motion to compel. Incinerate.
Да как же ты меня задел-то?
Motion to compel.
Let's spark things up a little.
Incinerate. Boom boom.
Так, мне нужно немножечко погреться.
Incinerate. Boom boom. Motion to compel. Incinerate.
Как ты восстановился, ты ё-моё.
Push your luck.
Boom boom.
Неужели он греется и от этого ему хуже? Нет, нет, нет. Да откуда этот лед у него? Я аж пожалела, что пошла.
Incinerate. Boom boom.
Ай,
Jury.
так, сейчас я быстренько подлечу. Я уж пожалела, что полезла. Ну почему опять я попала в него? Нужно вот сюда.
Motion to compel. Boom boom.
Эти кристаллы прям очень... Ладно, наконец-то. Да я полезла туда.
You want us to jump from up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, The experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather
Ну
refreshing.
нет, нет, это точно
No
не
matter
для
what
нас
choice you make,
способ.
it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research. Then if you would, please, I eagerly...
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing... emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Ну можешь повернуться, Инфей. Так, проще будет оббежать.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting and the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a
Я
lifetime.
надеюсь, а то мы с тобой тут бегали, всякие
Before we head back to the campsite,
интересные, в кавычках,
there's
задания
one more
выполняли.
experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Ну блин, ну почему я нажимаю не туда?
Motion to compare!
Ух ты.
Catch the wind.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. Remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get...
Хорошо,
let's see you in
хорошо, я
action.
поняла.
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains.
Да, я так и
Returning them to their
поняла,
rightful
что
places is up to you.
феечек нужно привести.
Catch the wind.
Ну ты что? Так, подожди-ка, нам нужно немножечко согреться. Да ну...
Incinerate! Motion to compel!
Это даже было нечестно. Так, а где вторая? Вижу еще одну, но это, скорее всего, для других. Статуи сейчас, ладно, посмотрим.
It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
И надо типа одновременно их запустить опять, чтобы все сразу открыть. Блин, не успеваю немножечко. Надо, получается, когда она откроет... Ну, вот сейчас, может быть, получится. Все хорошо. Так, а где еще одна феечка? Интересно, ладно. не хочет вылезать. А как же... Так.
What's the hurry? Freeze!
А как тогда? Куда она поднялась? Я ее не вижу.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm... Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery.
Привет, Фокси. Но...
Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater
Я не
detail
могу
after
сказать,
our
что
research.
оно прям ужасное.
Another thing for the
По-моему, одно
don't
из заданий
understand
с
list.
Джун Ли было
Unsolvable
похоже.
mystery
Прям
this,
очень нудно
weird
было.
experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You! You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps
Просто ты
you were
слишком
colluding from the
мнительная, вот и
beginning.
все.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way!
Ты что,
Paimon would
хочешь
have
подраться
sensed
с
it. And
нами?
anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone. So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't
Отругала
have many
нас и
people like
ушла.
that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
Хотя нужно было исследовать все вокруг. Возможно, там были какие-нибудь сундучки. Ну ладно. Уже теперь не буду возвращаться.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But
Ну давай,
the
уже не
integral
томи.
preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar, but after I observed imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one. So, do you understand what I meant
Ну,
about
по
us
сути, он
conversing here
прав.
arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to
Конечно,
discover
Фуксии
the
таки
means
надо.
to
В
make a flower
принципе,
bloom.
никогда не нужно сдаваться.
I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, Can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything.
Ой, ну это тоже замечательно.
Can I rely on you to stop me?
Что это значит, Альбедо? Ну зачем? Что ты собираешься делать? Вау, 45-й ранг уже. Немножечко быстро. Я пока не буду повышать уровень мира. Сначала мне нужно будет победить бал.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Уф, я даже не хочу туда идти, фармить их. У меня пока была такая комфортная игра. А сейчас придется немножечко трудиться. Ладненько, я буду теперь завершать на сегодня стрим, потому что завтра мне нужно на работу. Вот, и нужно быть бодрой и активной. Всем спасибо, что пришли, комментировали, играли со мной. У меня уже голос начал садиться к вечеру. Увидимся в субботу. Всем спокойной ночи, всем пока.